Welcome, wrestling fans. Back here to the Nation Network. This is the NWA World Championship Wrestling Company live from the Capitol Center. Tonight, some of the greatest wrestling action you are going to see anywhere. We've got titles on the line. The United States Tag Team titles will be defended tonight. The World Tag Team titles are on the line as well. The United States Championship. Lex Luger one-on-one against the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. This one has been bubbling up for weeks now. Their first one-on-one meeting since Luger was ostracized from the Horsemen. And of course, Sting will be in the house as well, defending the World Heavyweight Championship later tonight against the great Muta. So much action, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. It's going to be one heck of a night.
I've got to tell you, I've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. Seeing Luger and Flair stepping into the ring with one another, that is going to be something.
More than just bad feelings, there is real animosity between those two men right now. No two ways about it. We're going to be actually talking to them later on tonight prior to their matchup. Kicking things off here from the Cap Center. Beautiful Bobby. Look at this. Holy cow. Both men had almost the exact same idea. Rocky King walking up with beautiful Bobby.
Well, Bobby Eaton right now is a man kind of on an island at the moment. Dennis Condrey, his longtime tag team partner, suffering some severe injuries at the hands of an unknown assailant. over 2 weeks ago in our back lot area.
Still trying to figure out the identity of the man behind the mask. Bobby Eaton swears to Dennis Condrey he doesn't know who it is.
I want to believe him. I really do. I can't say for sure if I believe him, but Condrey, even though he is not going to be able to compete anymore, has made it clear that he wants an answer to the question. He wants to find out who the man is responsible.
Well, that's completely understandable, especially under the circumstances. Of course, we are all just happy that Dennis Condrey is still able to live a relatively normal life. Granted, his main source of income being professional wrestling, that's the thing he knows the best, has been taken from him. Eaton now up on the top rope, waiting on Rocky King to come up to his feet. He does, and there's that axe handle right to the head. We're not used to seeing Beautiful Bobby in singles competition, but right now I understand he is auditioning to figure out who can fill in the second role for the Midnight Express. They were all set to have a tag team title match here tonight.
Well, obviously that's no longer on the paper because he doesn't have a tag team partner, but as you mentioned, he is definitely looking right now to see who would be a good fit to fill in for the Midnight Express.
You know, last Saturday night, we did happen to catch Bob Eaton at the end of the program in the locker room, and he was talking to somebody. It was very mysterious. Don't know who he was speaking with. Couldn't find out, and he won't tell us. Series of right hands, and Eaton goes down, and Rocky King, we have seen him pull off upsets in the past. Could he be adding one more to the list? Spinning back heel kick, caught him right in the jaw of that one, and Bobby Eaton is in trouble.
Oh, look at Rocky King having a little fun here at the expense of Beautiful Bobby. I'm not sure I would recommend that.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. If Rocky gets a chance to put Bobby Eaton down, he better take advantage of that. Has him in the head scissor now here on the grounded position, and Rocky King driving those elbows right to the forehead. And Beautiful Bobby now up over onto the apron.
Rocky King is waiting for him, and he's right there with a big right hand rocking him.
Drop kick, and Eaton just went crashing to the floor. Here in the nation's capital, ladies and gentlemen, the NWA, like you've never seen it before.
Rocky King pulling way back on that arm of Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Sends him on. Oh, I thought he was going to go into the steel post. He missed that one, but he did hit the guardrail. And Eaton is down now, and Rocky King is challenging him to get back up.
Well, I'll say something right now. Bobby Eaton is a tremendous tag team wrestler. He doesn't do a lot of singles wrestling, so this is definitely going to be something for him to get used to, at least for the foreseeable future.
Another cover by Rocky King, good for a 1 count. Want to welcome everyone who's joining us here live on the Nation Network. Big JH in the house. Andrew Roberts is here. William Stiles joining us. Thank you so much. EPW show in the house. Welcome aboard, everyone. Rocky King hooks the leg, got only a 1 count. Eaton continuing to target the knee right now. Oh, this crowd not too happy with Beautiful Bobby. And I got to tell you, I get a feeling that the fans don't believe him when he says he doesn't know anything about the attacker. The fans seem like they don't believe that.
I'm not sure I believe it, to be honest with you. I want to believe it. For all the years that he and Condrey put in together, for all the success that the Midnight Express have had, granted, things as of late haven't been the best they've ever been, but I would hate to think he would throw all that away. And for what?
From the middle rope now, Eaton comes off and drives a fist right to the head, and Rocky might be out. Eaton has him. Cradle suplex, shoulders are down. And just like that, it's all over. Bob Eaton gets a big win here in singles competition.
Well, we knew it was going to be a big night for him because he pretty much needed something to go his way. There's been a lot of bad news flying in his direction as of late, losing his tag team partner, of course, being the big one.
Look at this from the top rope. Eaton measuring his opposition. Big splash right there. He has that move he likes to land, which is called the Alabama Jam, the leg drop off the top rope. Thought we might have seen that, but didn't need it here tonight.
Now here we see that cradle suplex perfectly executed as he locks those hands in the S-grip. Holds tight, and Rocky King cannot kick out of it.
Here is your winner, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Big singles victory for Bobby Eaton, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back with more action when we return.
Welcome to the Nation Network, your home for all things pro wrestling. From classic video games to the latest releases, we dive deep into wrestling past and present. Step into the ring with Legends Mania, where dream matches come alive as legends clash with today's top stars. Join the conversation on Wrestle Chat, our podcast breaking down the biggest stories and hottest events in wrestling today.
Leave an island unto my own.
And don't miss the voice of Ultra Pro Wrestling, Vince McShane, right here on the Nation Network. This is the place where wrestling lives, breathes, and never sleeps. Hit subscribe and let's run wild together.
All right, fans, we are back here in the locker room with the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And Rick, tonight, big matchup between you and the total package, Lex Luger, battling it out, indeed, for the United States Heavyweight Championship.
Well, you know something right now? You seem to understand maybe a little bit more than my friend the total package. You see, here's the reality check, pal. The reality is this. I am the best at what I do. I am the #1 man in professional wrestling today for a reason. I'll walk that aisle and I look as good as I do, because when you are #1, you have to portray that each and every time you step out, and that's what I do. Luger, you couldn't understand your role. You had to try and steal the whole spotlight, and I couldn't have that. So now, you're out, and I'm going to take the one thing that you kept hold on to, the one thing you thought made you special, is the fact that you're the United States Heavyweight Champion. Well, after tonight, you won't be able to say that anymore. The Capitol Center, our nation's capital, woo, you're going down.
All right, fans, we will see that match and plenty more. As a matter of fact, we're going to head up to the ring right now for the Tag Team Championship on the line. We'll be back. Here come the challengers, also representing the Horsemen. They are 2 of the 3 now Horsemen. Art Anderson and Tully Blanchard, and they are ready for action here tonight. What do you make of what we heard in the pre-recorded comments from the Nature Boy Ric Flair?
Well, he's always confident, or at least he portrays that. I don't know if he really is that confident. I mean, you're getting in the ring with a total package Lex Luger, and that is not going to be an easy task.
And here come the reigning tag team champions, America's team, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Magnum TA.
Well, Magnum TA and American Dream Dusty Rhodes have been formidable tag team champions. Many have tried, none have succeeded. Will it be different here tonight? Well, we'll find out momentarily, won't we?
The Horsemen desperate to get back in their winning ways. It has been a little while.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 482 pounds. The Enforcer, and Tully Blanchard, the Four Horsemen. And their opponents at a combined weight of 534 pounds, Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA getting set to go. Gold is on the line here in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. And this crowd is absolutely at a fever pitch.
Coming up later on, we've got a very unusual match. It's a tables match where you have to put your opponent through a table. It will be Abdullah representing the Dungeon of Doom going up against the modern-day warrior, Kerry von Erich.
Yeah, when I heard about that one, I thought, boy, this is going to be interesting. Pinfalls don't count. Submissions don't count. You simply have to put your opponent through a table, and I feel like that really favors Abdullah.
I would have to agree with you. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out.
American Dream, Dusty Rhodes right now wrenching the arm of the Enforcer, Arn Anderson. Oh, Anderson with that elbow. Crowd not too happy right now with Arn Anderson having the advantage as he takes the head of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and bangs it off the mat.
Well, Dusty Rhodes, a former world heavyweight champion, tag team champion, former United States champion, former television champion. He's held everything there is to hold, and you don't get that kind of a resume unless you know your way around the squared circle.
Tag was made. Here comes Tully Blanchard now. He's the legal man. For the Horsemen, it's almost a do-or-die situation. They really need this win tonight.
I couldn't agree more. They have really got to put something together here at some point in time. Tully Blanchard going for the cover on Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty kicks out on two.
Tully Blanchard off the ropes. What's he going to do here? Oh, it's just snapping the neck of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and it's not supposed to bend that way.
When it comes to targeting body parts on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, I don't know that anyone's ever done it the way the Horsemen have. They have especially paid a lot of attention over the years to his ankle and his knee, and Dusty Rhodes has been short-handed many times because he's not been at 100%.
Well, not only that, but the Horsemen just continue to target those areas. from the top rope. Oh, my goodness. Tully Blanchard nailed him with that elbow. Anderson now back into the match. We haven't seen Magnum in there yet. Dusty needs to make the tag, though, because right now the Horsemen have everything going their way.
Arn Anderson coming off that top rope, and he missed. I believe he slipped on the top rope. And Dusty Rhodes with a small package.
Anderson able to kick out easily from that one, but can't blame Dusty for giving it a try. Snapmare takes him over. Dusty driving that elbow right into the upper, look like the chest area of Arn Anderson. And finally the tag indeed is made. Here comes Magnum TA. Oh, and he got caught by the Enforcer.
I think he got him with a knee right to the midsection, and Arn Anderson showing why he is the Enforcer. And Magnum is down, now bouncing back up.
I'll say this right now, the Horsemen doing a tremendous job of tagging in and out. Tully Blanchard now sends him into the corner. And there's another double team coming up by the Horsemen. Bad news if you're Magnum TA off the ropes. Back up with a back body drop. Anderson now hammering away on Magnum. Sends him into the corner. Now the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, is there. Here comes a double team. Leaves him wide open, and Dusty caught him. Nice slam. Dusty Rhodes off the rope. There's the elbow. Anderson in trouble.
He got him with all of that. Dusty Rhodes over 275 and dropping every ounce of that right into the heart of Arn Anderson.
Got him with the elbow again. And now look at Tully Blanchard as they come scooting across the ring to make the save.
Dusty now distracted by Tully momentarily. Once again setting up Arn Anderson. Oh, and he's taking a page out of the book of the Horseman. That was done to him earlier, and he's giving him some in return. And now Dusty Rhodes biting the fingers of Arn Anderson.
Dusty Rhodes is capable of getting down and dirty at any given point in time, and he will fight fire with fire. And when it comes to the Horsemen, there's a lot of bad blood.
No doubt about that. Magnum off the rope. And big splash down across Arn Anderson. Magnum TA with a boot right to the midsection.
Magnum now going to work on Arn Anderson. He has that arm pin behind him. Drops the knees right to the small of the back, and the Enforcer's in trouble.
Well, the momentum on this one has definitely turned now. It is all in favor of the champions.
Later tonight, the Russians will be in action, defending the U.S. Tag Team titles against the winners of the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament. The U.S. Express, Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda.
They have a big title match set for the Clash of the Champions in another week. So no matter how this one shakes out, they'll be meeting again.
Spine buster by Anderson. And Dusty is laid out. There's a tag made. Well, chose time to make a tag by Arn Anderson. And here comes Tully Blanchard. Erich whips him into the corner. And Dusty caught him with the elbow. Big forearm across the back. And Dusty with another one, and that drops Tully Blanchard all the way down.
Magnum TA got tagged in, caught up with a drop kick. Anderson watching on from ringside. Swing and a miss by Blanchard. There's an atomic knee drop, and Tully Blanchard is in trouble.
To the apron he goes. Magnum letting them have it. And Tully Blanchard is down. Magnum goes after Arn Anderson now.
Tully still having trouble getting back up.
Anderson gets some of the same. Magnum with a clothesline as Tully Blanchard goes right back outside the ring.
These two guys, they know each other so well. We can all remember the big I Quit match between Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA.
Indeed, Magnum took a piece of wood from a broken folding chair, stuck it just above the eye of Tully Blanchard until he said the words, "I quit."
I dare say he screamed the words, "I quit."
Blanchard now going after the knee of Magnum TA here on the floor. The referee's count starting to get dangerously close to 10. They better be paying attention. And both men will beat the count back in.
Tag was made.
Double team coming up here by the Horseman. And a back body drop again. Magnum with a hard landing on that one. Tag is made. Here comes the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Anderson was trying for that DDT, but Dusty was ready. Bionic elbow.
That might be all she wrote right there. Dusty just needs to go for the pin.
Dusty's wasting time, pulling him away from the ropes. And Tully Blanchard there to make the save. Dusty Rhodes has Blanchard. Drops him across the turnbuckle. Flying fist drop to the head, and now Arn Anderson in trouble. Magnum TA, the legal man, in for the champions, going up against Arn Anderson. Tully Blanchard still has not made his way back up to ringside yet. Here's the Irish whip to the ropes, back out front. Belly to belly, he caught him. He got him with a belly to belly. Will that be enough?
Once again, pulling away from the ropes. You just got to go for the cover. Don't buy extra time.
That might be it. He got him. The belly to belly suplex for the victory.
America's team proving once again why they are the World Tag Team Champions.
Let's take a look back at the highlights, ladies and gentlemen, on this one.
That was a big move right there by Tully Blanchard off the top rope, driving that elbow.
Both teams did a tremendous job with the double teaming. The tagging was really well timed out. Dusty Rhodes with that patented elbow drop right to the heart of Arn Anderson.
I didn't see that the first time. Anderson got rocked from both ends as Magnum TA caught him in the back of the head with a roundhouse punch.
Anderson right there with that patented spine buster. That bought him some time. Look at this atomic knee drop, and Tully Blanchard feeling all that one. And this was it. Following that patented belly-to-belly suplex by Magnum TA, there are your winners.
WCW World Tag Team Champions, Dusty Rhodes and Magnum.
They retain the Tag Team Championship here in Washington, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more action. The tables match coming up. Stay with us.
Every generation has its stars. Major Stars. Order today at collectmajor.com.
All right, fans, joining me here in the locker room, the United States champion, the total package, Lex Luger. And Lex, you've got a big, big night ahead of you going one-on-one against the Nation Boy Ric Flair. Your first time since being kicked out of the Four Horsemen.
You know something, Tony? You tell me it's the first time that I'm going to get into the ring with the Nature Boy Ric Flair since he turned his back on me? Well, let me tell you something, Flair. I heard what you said earlier. And you may look all fine, and you may have all the nicest clothes in the world. You might drive in the nice limousines and fly in the Lear jets. But you forget something. I lived that life too. The difference between you and me, I got what you don't. And that's the gold. Flair, I've been counting the days, I've been counting the minutes, waiting for this night and this opportunity. What you did to me, taking that steel chair, costing me the world championship. Trust me, pal, tonight is just the beginning of a very bad day for you.
All right, fans, sounds like the total package is all business and ready to go. And so are we. We're going to send you back up to the ring right now.
The following contest is a tables match. Making his way to the ring from Sudan, weighing in at 360 pounds, the Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher in a match that I've got to believe was custom made for him.
Yeah, again, this is something crazy here. Tables match, only the match can end when one of these two men gets put through a table. Any means necessary.
And his opponent from Denton, Texas, weighing in at 254 pounds, the Tornado, Kerry Von Erich.
The modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich, former world heavyweight champion, coming through the ropes.
Oh, this crowd on its feet, one of the all-time greats. Of course, his family, a tradition in Texas when it comes to professional wrestling, no doubt about that.
Everybody knows the Von Erichs in the wrestling world. And here's the bell. Action is underway. And Abdullah the Butcher will have the size advantage. I wouldn't give him the strength advantage. I'd still give that to Kerry Von Erich. And Abdullah wasting no time at all. What's he got in mind now? There's a table already set up, and he's bringing it up and into the ring.
It should be noted that that table can be done inside the ring, outside the ring, anywhere, as long as it's a table and you put them through it. That is the only requisition.
Nice move right there by Von Erich to get out of the situation he was just finding himself in, and now hammering away. Kevin Sullivan, the taskmaster ringside, and that's a problem. And Kerry Von Erich wants to be aware of the whereabouts of Kevin Von Erich at all points in time, especially in a match like this. There's no disqualifications. Sullivan gets involved, and there's nothing against it.
Well, he just removed the turnbuckle pad, and guess what? There's no referee to deal with that because it's all legal.
The action's spilling out here to the floor. Von Erich going to work on Abdullah the Butcher. Sends him into the guardrail. Just caught him with that table, but he smashed him in the head with it, and Abdullah the Butcher is down. He's got him up.
Kerry Von Erich got that big man up. That's 400 pounds nearly.
Dropped him into a shoulder breaker, and Abdullah shakes that off, gets back in the ring, and Von Erich going to have to follow suit here. And now Abdullah returning the favor with a shoulder breaker down right into the eyes.
Well, there has been some bad blood between these two gentlemen, and I'm using the term loosely, at least on half of it. And this again, this plays right into the strength of Abdullah. There's no rules. Raking the face, perfectly legal.
And Von Erich just tasted the steel of that corner post with a turnbuckle pad missing. Chest first, and he is in pain and in trouble. Abdullah turns around and he put him on the table.
What a move! Von Erich saw the opening. He took advantage of it, and boy, oh boy, did he drill him through that table.
What a move by Von Erich. Just when it looked like things were not going his way.
Holy cow, that, if you're gonna do it, that's the way. Watch this right here. Turned his back for just a moment, and Von Erich drove him head first through the table.
Von Erich looking down at Kevin Sullivan, and Sullivan does not look too happy about the outcome of this one. Holy cow, what a win for the modern-day Warrior. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Wow, the stinger.
Timmy, I'm from the Dream Come True Fantasy Foundation. You ready to wrestle?
You bet. Mom, Dad, it's really him. Hold on. Now I'm ready.
It looks so real. Don't count on Sprite to do anything but quench your thirst.
All right, fans, we are back. Getting things cleaned up around ringside here after that last one. Holy cow. It is time now for the United States Tag Team title match. Ivan and Nikita Koloff, the Russians, have been holding on to those titles for too long, in my opinion.
Well, according to the United States Express, the U.S. Express of Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, that all comes to an end right here in the nation's capital, and what a better place.
Just the fact that a couple of Russians are carrying our U.S. Tag Team titles here into the capital.
Well, Windham and Rotunda are on an absolute tear streak right now. They, of course, are the winners of the Crockett Cup tournament several weeks ago. Not only the $1 million, not only the trophy, but they had a title match opportunity of their choosing, and they chose this one because how much those titles mean to them.
That and the fact that they truly, like the rest of us, cannot stand the idea of Russians walking around with our U.S. Tag Team titles. They're here to do something about it, and I believe they can.
These guys are one of the top tag teams of all time. They really have proven themselves time in and time out. Everywhere they've ever been, they have held championship gold. And I believe tonight we will see that happen once again. If anyone's going to put the Russians down, it'll be the U.S. Express.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the National Wrestling Alliance Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 524 pounds, Mike Raw Thunder and Barry Windham. And their opponents at a combined weight of 573 pounds, Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff and Russian Pear Ivor Koloff.
Well, the Russians are ready to defend those tag team titles right now, and I believe the U.S. Express are ready to relieve them of those tag team titles.
Going to be the All-American Mike Rotundo starting things off against Ivan Koloff's nephew, Nikita, who starts things off with a nice gut-wrench suplex. You know, we can take nothing away from this guy. We may not like his politics. We may not like what he does in and around the ring. But the fact of the matter is, he is a talented wrestler. No two ways about it.
Well, that is the sad part of the whole thing. He could represent his nation as a top-tier athlete, which he is, but instead resorts to all the underhanded tactics that his uncle is so well known for. And here's another one, trying to steal the victory by putting his feet up on the rope for added leverage.
Ivan Koloff now hammering away on Mike Rotundo. Ivan Koloff has had an illustrious career. Former world heavyweight champion. He has been a tag team champion in the past. And now, of course, one half of the U.S. tag team champions. But for how much longer? That's the question. And now Rotundo firing back with some rights and lefts and drives Koloff down, and he split him wide open.
Koloff has been busted open, and he is bleeding. Barry Windham, the big tall Texan, going to work now, and he sees that blood.
Windham with a flapjack. Oh, that's going to further agitate that wound on the head. Windham to the ropes. Clothesline. The Russian Bear's in a lot of trouble. That wound is already starting to hemorrhage.
He's in a lot of trouble right now. Ivan should be making the tag to his nephew, but now he's unloading with the heavy artillery on Barry Windham, and this crowd not too happy about it.
Nikita now going for the cover on Barry Windham. You're not going to get him. Didn't hook the leg, and even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered because he did not do nearly enough damage to keep Barry Windham down. Barry Windham, a true talent. He can wrestle singles or tag team and be just as effective. We've seen him have some barn burner matches with the Nature Boy Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship in the past.
Barry Windham is a true consummate wrestler. Of course, the son of the great Blackjack Mulligan.
Off the middle rope, Nikita Koloff drove that elbow right into the chest. Goes for the cover, and again, failing to hook the leg. Don't act surprised. If you're not going to hook the leg, don't think you're going to get Barry Windham. Windham with a nice clothesline, and that took him down. And now he's got him. And drives him into the mat. Rotundo right there to make the tag. And he walks right in to the Russian Nightmare, who drives Rotundo into the mat.
Well, when it comes to the power, now Rotundo's been busted open. Each team spilling blood here for the U.S. Tag Team titles tonight.
Rotundo caught him on the top rope. Knocked him off balance enough. And Rotundo is bleeding profusely right now from that open wound on the head. Makes the tag out to Barry Windham. Smart timing. Windham shoots him to the ropes, and a flying drop kick right on the button.
You see Ivan Koloff there trying to tag his nephew.
And Windham not allowing that to happen. Another tag is made. Mike Rotundo coming in.
Now between Rotunda and Ivan Koloff, I'm not sure who's in worse shape right now.
Well, they're both going to need some stitches when this one's over. I can promise you that. Nice knee lift right there by the Russian Nightmare. And Koloff has him up and slams him down. Flying elbow drop by the Russian Bear. And now Ivan following it up. Shoulder block, takes him off the apron, and he goes crashing to the floor.
And now Ivan Koloff thought he'd take a shot at Barry Windham, but that didn't work out the way I think he expected it to.
Oh, but now he's got Windham down on the floor. Koloff go for the bear hug, but Rotunda comes in and he caught him. Rotunda bang of the head of Ivan Koloff off the floor. Now going to work on the open wound.
Boy, oh boy, Koloff really split wide open now.
You can see him cringing in pain. Can he beat the count back in the ring? He does. Rotunda with another shot to the head. That damage just getting worse by the minute. He missed.
He took a little too much time, and now the bear hug is on.
Windham had to come in and make the save because Ivan Koloff puts a lot of people away with that bear hug. He will restrict your breathing. He will crush your ribs. And now the scoop up in the air, Rotunda in trouble. Oh, wait a minute. Ivan Koloff from the top rope. And the tag was made just in the nick of time. I think he was going for that finisher.
He drives that knee off the top rope, and he can put a guy down with that very easily.
Stiff shot to the back of Barry Windham, and another one. Nice reversal. Windham sends him to the apron, and now what? Another big right hand. And down goes Ivan. Double team now by the U.S. Express. We haven't seen a lot of double teaming in this match, I'll say that. Roll up by Rotunda, but he was too close to the ropes that time.
Well, when we talk about these guys taking time away by pulling them away from the ropes, that's the reason why right there.
Off the ropes, hip toss, and Rotunda down. Knee right to the midsection, and now Nikita going down. Back and forth action in this one. Who wants to win these U.S. Tag Team titles? To the ropes, back out front, back body drop. Rotunda has him up. He's going to go for the airplane spin.
He has put a lot of people down and out with this one. Will he add Nikita Koloff's name to the list?
Mike, you have to just go for the cover. He hooks the leg. Did he buy him too much time? We almost had new tag team champions. If he would have just gone for the cover, we would have new tag team champions right now.
I do believe you may be right on that one. But as we saw moments earlier, when he didn't get him away from the ropes, he ended up getting a rope break.
Off the power slam, and Rotunda, he kicked out, but not by much.
Yeah, that one definitely rattled him. And once again, these two teams are going to meet at the Clash of the Champions in a week's time from now, so no matter who walks away with the win tonight, it ain't over yet.
Elbow right to the chin, and Rotundo collapsing in the corner. And now, Ivan choking him out. Referee's got to do something about this. He's counting him out. Oh, this is not good. Ivan call from the top rope, and there's that knee. We talked about it earlier. Wyndham has to make the save, but he does.
That would have been it. That would have been match over. No two ways about it.
Once again, welcome everyone joining us here live on the Nation Network. Shout out to Seville OG. Thank you for joining us. NWA Worldwide Wrestling coming to you live from the Capitol Center, Washington, D.C., home of our nation's capital. The U.S. Tag Team titles on the line. The Russians are the current Tag Team champions. Rotundo with a roll-up. And now look at that from a deadlift, and he cradles in, and Ivan has to come in to make a save.
There's the amateur background, though. Mike Rotundo coming in, all that leverage. And most importantly, the way he managed a pin attempt out of it.
Now Koloff with a big right hand. Scoop slam, and Wyndham is down, and he's in trouble one more time. Tag made. Here comes Ivan. Back elbow by the Sweetwater native, and Barry Wyndham going after the arm. Smart move. Take away that Russian sickle if you can. Wyndham caught him with a forearm to the back of the head. There's a desperation tag, and Nikita back in through the ropes. Small package. Wyndham got caught.
Not only caught, but caught in the wrong corner. He was as far away from his tag team partner as he could have possibly gone.
Well, that and the fact that Rotundo really is not in great shape right now. Nikita, oh, no, don't do this. He's setting up. Got him with that forearm shot to the back of the head. I thought he was going to go for the Russian sickle for a moment there.
Well, if he hits him with that, it is all over.
Double team now by the Russians. To the ropes, back out front, back body drop. And Ivan has him in the bear hug. Barry Wyndham in trouble. Wyndham is going to have to find a way out of this, otherwise it'll be all over.
Well, he did not submit, but how much damage was done?
Oh, both men had a similar idea. Wyndham caught him as he was charging in for the Russian sickle. And he caught Nikita with that right hand.
Rotundo has been on the apron for some time now, and I'm almost wondering if maybe he's not injured.
Well, we know he's definitely suffering some sort of injury because he is bleeding from the forehead. Anything more than that, I don't know for sure. Oh, a Russian sickle, he got him. Nikita got him, and Mike Rotundo there to make the save.
Now Nikita going after the official.
I think he was going after Rotundo, but he got the referee, and that could have been a disqualification as well. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, with a disqualification is the champions will retain the title even if they're the ones getting disqualified. Doesn't do the U.S. Express any good. Oh, Wyndham with a bulldog right in front of his nephew. Goes for the cover, and Nikita there to make the save.
Both of these teams have had the opportunity back and forth, and neither one can get the job done.
A boot right to the face. The Russian Bear makes a tag, and Barry Wyndham is in a lot of trouble. We welcome John L. to the Nation Network. Thank you for joining us. Nikita's on that middle rope. Shoulder tackle, that missile. The Russian missile lands. And the shoulder comes up. Barry Windham will not stay down.
Well, much like Rotundo a little while earlier, just barely able to get the shoulder up. The wearing down has taken place at this point in time. I don't know that there isn't any single move that can't lead to a pinfall, including his big elbow drop by the Russian Bear.
Windham again able to shrug out of it, and that's really all that's happening now. Ivan is sizing him up, and there's the Russian Bear hug. Windham manages to escape. I don't know where he's getting it from.
This isn't a fight, it's a war.
These two teams are going to kill each other. Ivan Koloff, Mike Rotundo now battling it out here. What's it going to be like a Clash of the Champions?
I can only imagine, because if they didn't have bad blood coming in, they sure as heck do now.
Capacity crowd here, Washington on hand, ladies and gentlemen. And a pile driver, that's gotta be it. Rotundo's done. The Russian Nightmare. There's the sickle. Goes for the cover. Windham makes the save.
There is no end in sight for this one, because Rotundo was done. There is no way he would have kicked out after that.
Double team now by the Russians. Big right hand to the ribs. Oh, not another pile driver. Oh, Rotundo back body drops out of there just a minute. And he's got Nikita.
Look at Rotundo, though. He is a bloody mess. The blood not just streaming, but flowing down the forehead. And he got caught with a Russian sickle.
And it knocked him clear out to the floor. Ivan Koloff with the axe handle from the top rope to the floor, and now the bear hug is on him, but it will not count here. Rotundo is tapping out, but it doesn't matter.
He's done. His body went limp from that one.
And now the backbreaker.
You see him tapping out, but it doesn't matter on the floor. You have to do it inside the ring.
Rotundo struck the steel post.
I don't see him getting back up. He's a mess.
This match is over, ladies and gentlemen. Rotundo is not going to be able to make it back in.
Well, not unless he gets some help.
That's a dangerous game right there. The Russians have the win. And all they've done now is bought another opportunity. Mike Rotundo has got to make the tag to Barry Windham. I mean, that is the most obvious thing to everyone in this building right now. Rotundo, belly to back, he drops Ivan Koloff. And now, wait a minute, look at the tide as it turns.
Oh, I told you that was a mistake.
The Russians would have had a count-out victory, but instead decided not to have that. They went outside the ring, broke the count up, and instead the U.S. Express pulls out the victory in what was absolutely a war.
Nothing settled here. Neither team able to get a pinfall or submission. We'll have to settle this in a week's time at the Clash of the Champions.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen some great ones in my day, but this is at the top of the list. This was indeed a tag team war for the United States tag team titles, and the Russians may be walking out of here with the belts, but they do not get the victory.
Well, that is a small consolation, I suppose.
Here are your winners, Kerry and Mike
Rotundo is a busted up mess. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Championship titles are on the line when we come back.
Hi, it's me, Antonio Banderas. When I use my Bosch fridge, it makes me feel different. It makes me feel like Antonio Banderas.
Well, I hear you, brother. Because when I use my Bosch power tools, I feel like the Macho Man Randy Savage. You dig it?
I do dig it, Randy.
We're fine.
Powerful power tools.
Phenomenal appliances.
Rotary hammers.
Dishwashers.
Mighty sauce.
Induction cooktops.
Randy!
Coming. Impact drivers.
Refrigerators.
Watch this. Elbow. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. You know it's the Mac Militant.
All right, fans, our co-feature, the Total Package Lex Luger. He is the United States champion, and this is his first opportunity to get one-on-one in the ring with a nature boy, Ric Flair, since being kicked out unceremoniously from the Horsemen several weeks ago.
Well, it was the main event at the Crockett Cup for the World Heavyweight Championship. Sting going one-on-one with the Total Package Lex Luger for the World Heavyweight title. And there was a moment late in that match where the Nature Boy entered the ring with a steel chair, and we all thought he was going to use that on Sting. At the last moment, turned it on his supposed ally, the Total Package Lex Luger, instead.
The Total Package. This guy is put together, no doubt about it, like nobody else, ladies and gentlemen. We remind you to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well, and you'll want to ring those bell notifications so you know when we go live.
Well, there is nothing like the live parties here on the Nation Network. And here comes the former world champion and the #1 contender to the United States Championship, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, we heard from him earlier on tonight, has made the promise that he is bringing that United States Championship back to the Horsemen.
Well, we also heard from the reigning champion, the Total Package, Lex Luger. He said tonight is going to be the beginning of a very long day for the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and I've got a funny feeling he's not talking about a 24-hour window.
Introducing the challenger from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 243 pounds, Ric Flair. And his opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 275 pounds, the WCW United States Champion, the Total Package, Lex Luger.
Well, right now, neither of these men are particularly fan favorites. I don't know if the fans truly trust Luger at this point or not. Referee Teddy Long ready to go. Action underway, and here we go. Small package by the Nature Boy. No chance in the world that you're going to get him. Nice takedown by Ric Flair. Ric Flair synonymous with the elite in professional wrestling, with the heavyweight world championship. Calling him the former world champion is something that takes getting used to, because generally speaking, he's the man, as he claims to be. Says to be the man, you got to beat the man, and right now Sting is the man. And at some point in time, Flair is looking at getting another shot at that heavyweight championship. But for tonight, he's got his sights set on Lex Luger. Now, getting that U.S. title, if he were able to do it, that would make him a #1 contender.
A lot of people still want to see the return match with Luger and Sting because nothing was fairly settled in that one.
And Flair dropping him down on his head. Luger. The count climbing high. Flair barely beats the count back in. We almost had another count out. He's got him on a torture rack. Oh, and Flair was able to get the ropes.
Wow, was that ever close?
Luger for the middle rope now. And the double axe handle to the head, and Flair is down. I don't remember ever seeing Luger get somebody in the torture rack quite that quickly.
Saw the look of confusion and fear on Ric Flair when he found himself up there. He was just lucky that he was able to grab those ropes as quickly as he did, because I think he knows it would have been all over.
That torture rack is a match-ending maneuver every time. It will bend your back in directions it's not supposed to go. Flair now. Oh, wait a minute. Flair just got himself disqualified. Are you kidding me? Luger's going to retain the title, but come on.
Night out on the town, $75.
So, how about a blowjob?
Getting the nerve to ask such a question? $12 bottle of wine.
Are you crazy? My parents might see.
Come on, who's gonna see us at this hour? I'll return the favor.
Wait, can you imagine if we got caught? Oh my God, what my dad would do to you.
There's nobody around. Everybody's asleep.
No way, it's way too risky.
Please. I love you so much.
Actually using a line like that? Another $12 bottle of wine.
I just can't.
Please?
Dad says to go ahead and give him a blowjob. Or I can do it. Or if need be, he'll come down himself and do it. But for God's sake, tell him to take his hand off the intercom.
Having a girlfriend whose father has a sense of humor? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, fans, this is it. Here comes the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Sting.
Well, the crowd still can't believe what happened in the last one. Luger will retain the U.S. heavyweight title. Flair just right in front of referee Teddy Long drilled him right between the uprights.
Well, it is safe to say that that battle is not settled, not in the least. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're 1 week away from the Clash of the Champions. It is going to be some kind of night. We've already been told that next week, Clash of the Champions, the United States Tag Team titles will be on the line again. The U.S. Express Barrett and the Microton will be going up against the Russians, and there will be a clear-cut winner because those titles, I was told, will be hung 20 feet above the ring. They will have to scale a ladder to pull those titles down, and anything goes. They're going to have to climb a ladder.
That is absolutely insane. I cannot believe what that's going to be like.
4 men competing for 2 titles. And you got to climb some 15-foot tall ladder to get to the titles. And boy, a lot can go wrong in that situation.
Well, after what we saw tonight, I can't wait for that one.
Introducing the challenger from the land of the rising sun, weighing in at 230 pounds, the great Muta.
My understanding is Kevin Sullivan, part of the contract was he was not allowed to be at ringside for this match.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Heavyweight champion, the Icon, Sting.
Bell sounds, action is underway as these 2 men lock up in the middle of the ring.
We talk about men with history. These guys have plenty of history. No love lost between either one of them. They have battled it out for championships. They have battled it out strictly for pride. Tonight, the biggest prize of them all, though, the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Muta, the longest reigning television champion here in the NWA, held that title for over 8 months. Nobody could stop him. They couldn't bid him. They couldn't get him to submit. He was a wrecking crew, and then came along the Kevin Sullivan Dungeon of Doom, making him all that much more lethal. And that's why Sting put into the contract that he would not be tolerated here at ringside tonight. No members of the Dungeon are allowed to be here at ringside. Sting fighting his way out of the grasp of Muta. Has him up against the ropes, Irish whip. And they collide. Sting comes up with a blind drop kick, nicely done. Sting with a boot right to the face, and Muta rolling out to the corner.
Well, that one really caught Muta flush. And now look at the stinger going to work on Muta in the corner.
Muta fighting back. Muta's one of the great Japanese imports. If you just ask Kevin Sullivan, he'll tell you. He brings that Japanese style of wrestling here, which a lot of people have. Nice move right there with that variation of the Frankensteiner. And he drops Sting across the top rope. I was going to say that style of Japanese wrestling that they're known for, which is a lot of high impact wrestling, chops, kicks. The acrobats we have seen. Muta with that handspring elbow.
A lot of people might think that's just to look flashy, but it's not. The extra momentum he gets coming off of those back flips, and then when he uses that centrifugal force into the back elbow into the corner, there's nowhere for the human body to go, and it absorbs all of that impact.
Nice one right there by Muta coming off the ropes with a splash. Stinger's shoulders are down, but he kicks out. Muta making the mistake of not hooking the leg. Indeed, one of the great rivalries of all time right here, ladies and gentlemen, as Muta has him tied up. And there's the submission. Sting reaching for the ropes. I don't think he's going to get there.
Well, he did not make it to the ropes, and how much damage was just done to the back of the Stinger. Muta with a moonsault, and he caught him. We might have a new champion.
Muta took too much time to go for the cover. Let's see if it makes a difference. There's one, there's two, we got it. No! I thought we had a new world champion.
That was very close, and now Sting in trouble.
Dropped across the top rope. Muta stomping away out of it. Sting kicks him off. Stinger needs to come up with some offense. Big offense. He's got to turn the momentum of this match around quickly, because right now, Muta is clearly in charge. Nice move. Overhead slam.
Oh, he must have been listening to you, because that is exactly what he needed right there.
Into the turnbuckle. Stinger splash. And Muta crumbles to the canvas. Cover hooks the leg. The championship on the line. And Muta got a shoulder up. Sting steps through. Scorpion. It's on him.
Muta's in trouble. Referee is right there to see if he wants to submit, and he will not.
When the World Championship is on the line, a man will reach deeper down inside than perhaps a normal night.
Well, there's no doubt of that.
Sting with the atomic knee drop, and that's two. Gonna go for three. Indeed, and oh, Muta feeling all that one. Sting with a jumping DDT. Muta's down. Shoulders are on the canvas for the count of one. There's two, and Sting will retain the World Championship. What a match.
These guys brought everything to the battle that they had in them. They both withstood some of the hardest hits the other had to offer. But at the end of the day, the champion came from behind, in my opinion, to pull out one of his greatest wins since becoming the world champion.
No easy nights for the world champion, ladies and gentlemen. When you're the number one guy, you fight the number one men. As we take a look at the highlights, and there were plenty to be had. He caught Sting with that patented moonsault, but he took an extra couple of seconds before he went for the pin, and I believe that cost him the title.
Sting over there with that military overhead press, and here we see it, Stinger splash.
That is always the beginning of the end, even if he doesn't get you with that. Look at this, Sting right here with a atomic knee drop. Not one, not two, but three in a row. Fans, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Nation Network. We will see you at 6:05 on Saturday night for the Legends of 6:05. Sting victorious here tonight. So long from ringside.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!